Hey there and welcome to T-shirt design course, and this will be our first ever lesson getting started with Adobe Illustrator. So let's get started. So as you can see, I have opened up Adobe Illustrator here. This will be how you'll be seeing Adobe Illustrator. So in order to get started with Adobe Illustrator, this is the UI as you can see. So there are several ways you can create a new project. So you can go to files, you can go to new, and this window will pop up. You can also go to create new to open up this window as well. And you can set your preferences of how you want to create your first artwork or project from here. So you have the preset under preset details over here. You can rename your project, whatever you want. So for this lesson, we'll be going on to lesson 1. Getting started with Illustrator. There you go. And then you'll have the width and the height here. I have the A4 size selected here. So A4 size is in millimeters. You have 210 by 297 in millimeters. You can also select pixels, points, picas, inches, feet. I like to stick with inches. So as you can see, A4 size, we have the inches over here. Then try to set it for CMYK color instead of RGB. CMYK is for print. So as we will be doing t-shirt design, which will be printed, CMYK is the one that you should go for. Then the preview mode default. You have like under saved here, if any presets that you save, you can find those here. You have mobiles here, you have web here, you also have print here. So I'm gonna go for print, and I'm gonna go with A4 size or letter size over here. I'll stick with A4 size, as you can see over here in inches. Then you have film and video as well. You have art and illustration as well. Another thing I forgot to mention is you can change the orientation to portrait to landscape. So let's say like you want A4 size, but you want it in landscape. You can also have that. And you can also add the amount of A4 size papers or amount of artboards that you want. So let's go ahead and create our first project for this lesson. Here you go. This is the A4 size printable paper or project artboard over here. If I were to select another artboard over there, yeah, I would have had another artboard like this over here, like the artboard over here. But this is not an artboard, this is an object which I have created. So I'm going to delete that. So in order for us to work with t-shirt designing, we have to set our workspaces. So you can, to set up the workspace, you can go to window, you can go to a workspace over here. I've selected automation. We'll change our workspace and change our UI design or change how Adobe Illustrator looks and feels depending on what we will be doing in this course. So normally you would see essentials here like this, or you will see essentials classic like this. You'll have it as either essential or either essential classic. I'm gonna go with automation because it will have all the advanced tools that we might need and also all the things that we might need over here as well. Now, in order for t-shirt designing, there are several things that you should keep in mind. Like for example, if you double click on this color fill here over here, you'll have this window pop up on the color, but it will be shown like this in your window. So go to only web colors. This will allow you to have some palettes. As you can see, as you change it, you will have different kinds of palettes. So this works very good for designing t-shirts because you can select any single color from in between here. So this will come in handy. Now, why this will come in handy? For example, if I were to select this color, if I were to go to rectangle tool, let me create a rectangle tool over here. But let me delete this. I want a square. So I'm going to hold on shift and drag to get a perfect square over here. Why I have created a perfect square out of the artboard, this is just a color palette so that I can use the color picker tool or the eyedropper tool and select this color. Anyways, if I were to go here, let me remove the stroke. So there you go. I have the color palette over here. This is the stroke option. This is the fill option. So if you were to select any object with the selection tool and select a stroke. For example, if I were to select this, it will have an outer stroke of that. Now if I were to go into here and if I were to select black, as you see there's a black border now, the stroked, and I can deselect the color as well. So the reason for me to create this object over here, or this rectangle over here, is very much simple. I'm going to create a few more, at least 4 more or 3 more. I'll stick with 3 more. So you can create like this, or you can delete, or you can select this, hold on Alt and drag it to copy the object. But you can also, like for example, if I were to hold on Alt, drag it, and then press Ctrl D again, it will then copy. It will repeat what I have copied directly. Now, the reason for me selecting this is because this will be our color palettes. When we'll be designing t-shirts, we need to keep in mind that you need to have several colors. So, for example, if I were to change this color, let's say into this, then to change this color, let's say a bit lightish blue. I'm going to stick with bluish hues, bluish colors. And let me select this color to be a much more lighter, pungent one. There you go. Now I have 4 different colors. These 4 different colors will help in the design of the t-shirt design that we'll be doing. Now, for example, if I were to right click on the rectangle tool over here, I'll have the ellipse tool over here. Let me select the color to, let's say, black. Let me create a circle. Holding down Shift, this will create a circle. Let me align it to the middle. If you come up top here, if you've selected the workspace for automation, you'll have the alignment tool there, or you can go here under window and you can click this align over here and you'll have the alignment tools shown here as well. But any tool that you use in Illustrator, if for any object, you need to select that object first. So I want to align the circle to the center of my artboard. So I need to use the selection tool and then select the circle and then go to window and the align option again, or I can click over here as well. And then I'm going to align it perfectly in the center. Now I want my circle to be much more bigger and align it to the center as well. Let me make it bigger. I'm holding down Shift and dragging the edge so that it expands uniformly instead of expanding like this, as you can see. I'm going to press Ctrl Z to undo, center it again. Now I'm going to cancel out the fill. But if I were to, as you can see, if I were to hover over as there is no fill, I won't be able to select the circle like this. So I need to hover over the border in order to select it. Now I'll go over to the stroke and put a black stroke marker over here so that I can see what I'm doing. Now let's say I want to create a t-shirt design with like a sea and a Palm Beach. So I can go over here. As you have seen, I have a few presets over here for the colors that I've showed before. So I'm gonna go over to, let's say, the rectangle tool. There you go, the rectangle tool. Let me select, let's say, this color or this color or the darker blue color. It is up to your preference. Now at the center, I wanted to align at the center. There you go. Now I'm going to use the selection tool again, or pressing V. Then I'm going to arrange it and send it to the back. Now as you can see, I have, now in order for me to make it the shape of the circle, I need to first select both of the objects, and then I'm going to select the shape builder tool. Now I'm going to hold on Alt and left click so that I can delete the other objects. But if I were to, let's say, Ctrl Z, if I were to select and drag it like this, it will join together, and now the circle and this are one single object instead of 2. So I'm going to hold on Alt and delete this by using the shape builder tool. If you were to use it normally without pressing down the Alt, it will join the objects. Now as you can see, I have perfect half circle over here. So this will be, let's say, our C. But now we need to fine tune it. So I'm going to go ahead and use the pen tool, but instead of pen tool, I'll first select this and zoom in to the edge over here, then use the pen tool. Now, as that object is selected, if I were to go on a path and select it, a node will be formed up. Now, if I were to hold down Alter, as you can see, it will form up like this. If I were to use the pen tool, hold on Alter, or if I were to right click it and the anchor point tool, I can use also the anchor point tool over here and then change the anchors like this. That also works as well. Now you can use the pen tool like that to make waves like that, as it's a sea, and then add like a sky over there, then create another circle and use the shape builder tool again to make that circle into, let's say, the moon in the nighttime, and the background on the upper part of the sky as like the night dark sky, and then add stars in it. You can also add stars by going into the shape builder tool here, use the star tool. If you were to double click on it, or if you go ahead and select the star tool and just left click anywhere, you will have the radius 1 and radius 2 and the points. So let's say I want a 3-star point over here, and let's say it's 3 inch and 3 inch, or let's say it's 1 inch each. This is the radius for the inner radius and the outer radius. So if I were to select OK, as you can see, this has been selected. So if I were to select this one as 0.5, as you see, it turned into a triangle. I put this one as 0.5. As you see, it reversed. Now let me put it to 5 again. Okay, as you can see, there you go. So the 0.5s are the innermost part. So let me select it as 0.1 inch now. As you see. So you can select those and drag those inside there, and you'll have a much more better way of illustrating what you want as the design of your t-shirt. So those are basically how you get started. Those are basically how you get started on the designing. You can have more, if you want, you can have more than these 4 palettes. You can have up till 10, I guess, depending on how much complex you want your design to be. And speaking of complexity, I will be showing you the few categories, or several few categories, on how those t-shirt illustrations or t-shirt designs look like. And here we go. We have the abstract t-shirt designs. As you can see, the illustration is kind of similar to that. We have the animals t-shirt. As you can see, there's a dog face over here. It can be any kind of animals. This one is also considered to be an animal, but this is a bear t-shirt, so it also falls under the animal. You can also have it in an abstract style as well. You can also have it like the bear in an anime style or a cartoon style as well. You have bicycle t-shirts, apocalypse t-shirts, birds t-shirts, which also falls under the animal part as well, category as well. You have cat, you have character t-shirts, you have cool t-shirts. These are all like designs based. You have the fire, the fish, you have geek t-shirts, game t-shirts, funny t-shirts. You have also these are like illustrations of how the t-shirts look like. These are some art styles on how, these are a few art styles that you can make. Like for example, this one, you have the vector t-shirts. This can be easily made in Illustrator as well. For this ones, the tiger t-shirts or the animal t-shirts, there are several ways you can do those. So the way that you can do those is basically like downloading a picture, let's say of a tiger. Like for example, this tiger, you can download the picture of that tiger. Then you can paste it over here, then reduce down the opacity. So let's say the tiger picture is over here inside this box over here. I can go ahead and select this using the selection tool, and I can go ahead and reduce down the opacity, as you can see, like this. And once that's done, opacity, you can then lock that, or you can just place it over here. Then you can have like, let's say a brush tool or a pen tool, and like drag and draw over it, creating your unique own design. A unique own design, and then you can easily make the desired design that you want. So those are a few ways that you can get started on making a t-shirt design in Illustrator. That will be all for lesson 1, as this is a very basic introduction to how to operate Adobe Illustrator. But there are also a few other things: objects, types, select, effect, windows. I've already shown you how the workspaces look like. And over here, you can see all the things here. These are all the tools. Like, for example, this one is a tool, this one is a tool, this one is a tool. If this is not visible like this, then this is not turned on. So if I were to select the info panel, as you can see, you have the info, the location of where your mouse is, and the CMYK color format. So if I were to hover it over here, are selected, as you can see, it changed, and you have also the location of it as well. So you have different kinds of tools. So swatches over here, as you can see, the swatches is already here, but it's not opened up. That's why it's not ticked over there. So if it's opened up in window, you'll see it ticked up like that. So it's kind of similar to that. The layers, I'll go into the layers later on when we'll be doing a project. Or when we'll be doing another lesson where I show you on how to use the layers and several under the actions as well, and the artboards as well, and how you can make designs as well. So that's it for this lesson 1, and how to get started with Illustrator. We will also go ahead and go through the tools as we progress through the lessons, and I will be seeing you guys in the second lesson. Thank you for your time. Bye.